Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silver Stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 25th day of April 2021, I'd like to take you over here to JMBullion and have you look at the live spot prices, but they're not live. They'll be opened up later on this afternoon between 5 and 6 Eastern. And they were flat. They just basically closed flat on Friday. So nothing happening there. But I wanted to take you over to Coin World. It says here the Fraser portrait to finally debut on the quarter in 2022. And that's a definite possibility of a firm maybe. So let me go ahead and read this to you. There's Sally Ride, and there's the Fraser portrait there. Beautiful design. The CFA and CCAC separately recommended the same designs for the common obverse for the Women's Quarter series from 2022 to 2025, and the reverses for the first two 2022 quarter releases. Now, I think it's a no-brainer. A female designed this particular quarter, and we're going to be celebrating women's quarters. I mean, 2 plus 2 is 4, right? So it says here, the Commission of Fine Arts and Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee independently recommended the identical proposed designs for the common obverse for the 2022 to 2025 American Women Quarters program and the reverses for the first two 2022 coins. It's a mouthful. The CFA convened on April 15th to consider the proposed designs, and the CCAC met April 20th. That was a Tuesday last week. The American Women Quarters program calls for the production and release into circulation of quarter dollars with reverse designs recognizing contributions of prominent American women. The first two honorees are the first American female astronaut in space, third overall in 1983, Dr. Sally Ride, and noted poet and civil rights advocate Maya Angelou. Future honorees will be announced by the U.S. Mint in alphabetical order, with designs for the final three honorees to be considered by the two coin design review panels at their respective June meetings. So we're going to have all of these things done by this year. Mint officials have not yet disclosed in what order the 2022 American Women Quarters dollars will be issued. The recommendations for both the CFA and CCAC will be forwarded to the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen for her final approval. And that's really what it boils down to, is what Janet Yellen wants. Because if you read down here, if Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, selects the Fraser portrait, remember the CFA and CCAC recommendations are not yet final. It will be issued 2022 to 2025. The 2026 legislation allows for a total redesign of the quarters, obverse and reverse. Then for 2027, the legislation requires an obverse featuring George Washington that distinguishes the program from the previous quarters. So that'll be amazing. So this 2026 design is going to celebrate the semi-quincentennial birthday of the United States. Remember in 1776, 1976 quarters? These are going to be, I think, similar to that. They may not have the drummer boy on the reverse, but it will be an homage to the semi-quincentennial birthday of the United States. So there it is. And if you look at this, this actually was released in 1999. I'm going to show you here. There we go. For the common obverse, the CFA and CCA both selected from the 11 designs proposed a design submitted to the Mint in 1931 for the 1932 Washington quarter dollar and finally chosen for use once in a United States commemorative coin in 1999. So there's the design, and here's the 1999 coin design. As you can see, they've changed the mint mark and the date locations. They've kept the "In God We Trust." And in this design here, you can see more of the lettering. As this one, they've covered the IBER. Beautiful designs nonetheless. It's just amazing to look at. It's just so remarkably beautiful. Now, it says here the remaining 10 designs considered were rendered either by the Mint's engraving staff and artistic infusion program artists. The recommended design was one of the originally submitted by sculptor Laura Gardine Fraser in a 1931 design competition for the Washington quarter dollar introduced in 1932. Fraser's portrait, facing right, of George Washington was recommended for the obverse of the 1932 quarter by the George Washington Bicentennial Committee and the Commission of Fine Arts. But then Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon instead selected sculptor John Flanagan's bust left design for the quarter dollar. Flanagan's design was used on the Washington quarter dollar from 1932 through 1998, with a version reduced in size by 15% employed for the state, District of Columbia, and the U.S. Territories of America, the beautiful $quarter. The reduction and modifications were executed by then U.S. Mint sculptor engraver William C. Cousins. So there you go. That's this design. And I want to read to you a little bit more about Laura Garden Fraser. And it says here, she's an American sculptor and wife of James Earl Fraser. All right, you might know him. He's pretty famous. She studied under Fraser at the Art Students League of New York from 1910 to 1912. Alone or with her husband, she designed a number of U.S. coins, notably the 1921 Alabama Centennial half dollar, the 1922 Grant Memorial half dollar, and the 1925 Fort Vancouver Centennial half dollar, as well as the 1926 Oregon Trail Memorial half dollar. And those you can still buy on eBay. Those are beautiful coins. So there's something going on here with this particular family, Fraser. As you can see, he is going to be featured, or has been featured. His design has been featured here. Hidden in plain sight, reverse of the 2018 American Innovation Dollar pays subtle homage to the legendary designer of the Buffalo nickel. And there he is right there, Mr. Fraser himself. And if you can see this particular design right there, that shield, that's actually, oh, my bad, that's actually his design. I think, there it is, I've got it, yay. That's his design, and it's actually on one of the buildings in D.C., and I can show you right over here. After reading through the description, you'll notice that every detail on the reverse is elucidated, save one. Above the inscription, American Innovators, there's a notable cartouche of an eagle crouching on an angled shield. The eagle's wings are spread behind it, and below the shield are tools that symbolize innovation. Apart from its size, the cartouche stands out from the rest of the reverse design since it appears to be a neoclassical style rather than a modern one. The reason for this is quite simple, is because the cartouche is based on the work of beloved neoclassical sculptor James Earl Fraser. And there's this shield there, or the cartouche, whatever you like to call it. It's beautiful, and it made it onto the first issue of the American Innovation Dollars, and this one's signed, the first patent, and that's General George Washington's signature right there. And that's James Fraser's probably most famous design right there, is the Buffalo nickel. And I did show you the picture, and that's the cartouche. And if you go over here to the United States Mint, to the American Innovation $1 coin program, you can actually still pick up these in circulating state right here, in a mint state. Now, I don't know for how long, but you can definitely get them, and it shows that right there, James Fraser's design. If you go down here to the bottom, and these ones are the ones you cannot get anymore, is the awesome, beautiful Hubble Space Telescope from Maryland. That's beautiful. And the coin that everybody's talking about, the one from Massachusetts. So that one's gone, can't get it, and this one you can't get it either. It does say remind me, although I don't believe you will get a remind email or notification. Probably going to have to pick these up on the secondary market. But listen, this American Innovation Series, it just keeps on giving and giving. And it's funny how this American Innovators, American Innovation Coin Program gets tied in to the new 25-cent design, or possibly anyway, because look, down here it says, if Yellen selects the Fraser portrait. So she could totally ignore that, but I doubt it, because a female got to decide about the female quarters program about a female design. I mean, that's a 1, 2, 3. It just all adds up so easily. I tell you, it's right there. Hey, folks, I want to thank you all for watching today. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.